say, well, what's the most awful customer experience you can imagine? And actually looked online and read some surveys, and you see the cable companies up there at the list, you see the budget airlines, but the number one is the Department of Motor Vehicles. And when we all have to go there, you just instinctively, it's going to be this soul-crushing experience. So the North Carolina DMV decided to privatize. And in doing bids, this guy, Chad Price, who's in Holly Springs, North Carolina, a suburb of Raleigh, decided to do it differently. This guy's a hacker at his core. And he said, I'm going to do it, but only if I can do the exact opposite of what DMVs are traditionally like. So he went and studied. He traveled all over the country. He studied how DMVs work. He interviewed people leaving them and that just draining experience. And he decided to create like the un-DMV. He decided to hack it. As a result, now you walk into his. First of all, people walk in and they do a double take. Like, am I even in the right spot? Because instead of this cold plastic chairs and this unwelcoming drudgery, there's beautiful area rugs, there's fresh cut flowers, you smell freshly baked cupcakes that are delivered every day. There's an aroma in the air of 12 plus exotic coffee grounds that you can choose from. They have fresh smoothies and cold pressed juices. And the entire experience is completely upended. There's a little children's play area, so instead of the kids screaming, now they can play games and do art projects. Even technology is used. You can text in on the way there. It will show you your place in line, so your wait once you're there is much shorter. The people greet you with these beautiful, warm smiles. They're engaging. You almost are like, is there a hidden camera somewhere? And so I talked to Chad about this and I said, like, how did you do this? And he said he studied exactly what everyone else was doing and did the hacker technique that's called the reverse, which is taking the polar opposite approach of the industry norms. And I said, well, how do you make any money? Isn't this just an extra cost? He said, no, actually, it's net positive. First of all, we charge for the cupcakes and the coffees and the juices, so that helps offset some of those costs. He goes, but the real thing is this, the way the DMV is set up, they get reimbursed by the government per transaction. So we figured if he can do more throughput, he'd make more money. So he did it to prove he could be done, by the way, but the byproduct of this is that now people drive from 100 miles. They drive right past 3 other junky DMVs to go to his because their net time from their door back home is about the same, but now they have this lovely experience instead of sitting in torture in another DMV. So in a case where you think government is the one place you can't do this, it might apply to startups, but does it really apply to big bureaucracies? Yes, it does. And even the most closed systems, like a Department of Motor Vehicles, can be improved dramatically through the techniques of hacking.